Here's why the 3-4-3 formation can be problematic for Jamaica men's national team. And I want for you to pay keen attention to what was being said in the description or the title itself can be problematic. So I'm not saying that this formation should not be utilized, but it can cause issues for the team. All right, so I am going to use the team that played against the United States by way of the players and analyze them by way of this formation, the 3-4-3. Before I do that, I just want to flash back to that of the 1998 World Cup when we played against Argentina. We lost 5-0. It wasn't the same formation, but it was similar with the back line. Three at the back, but the formation was 3-4-2-1. And the game that we lost against Croatia in that same year, we used three players at the back again in a 3-5-2 formation. I am not saying that Jamaica should fully get rid of the formation, whereas three players play at the back. But the thing is, it is somewhat an issue, whereas our players may not be best suited for such. Jamaica, to me, has players who are known for running. We may not have the quickest players, but it is in our nature to be sprinters. We are strong, but how tactical or strategic can we be with our strengths on the pitch? But not to worry, let me just get into details and explain why you're seeing this on the board. So, Andre Blake was the captain, Mr. Boom. The back three comprised of Joel Latibodier, Michael Lecter, and Deshaun Bernard. I am hoping that he's still having that connection with Mason Greenwood to see how well we can have him in. The midfield four, Lee, the powerhouse, never tired Damian Lowe, Casey Palmer, and Dexter Lembikisa. Up at top, we have Shefaz, Lowe, and one of our favorite players, I have to say, Mr. Bobby Reed. No, I am not saying that I am using the game of the United States to judge Jamaica entirely because this formation could have yielded results that we may not even expected. When you're utilizing a formation of such, you have to make sure that your players, especially at the back, can manage any pressure that comes from the opposition team. What I mean by that is that the midfield four in a Jamaica setup is not quick enough. And teams like United States, Mexico are quick feeted in short distances. And they bounce their balls like 1-2-1-2, not long balls, right? Not long balls, but they keep their ball in close spaces. So when Jamaica has players playing in a back three, as I've said, I'm using the players that was used in the United States game. A Latibodier, a Hector, and a Deshaun Bernard. These two are more so known as being better as a back two. As a back two. So I'm starting from the back coming up. The thing is now, when we have these players playing in the back three, you see this side, whereas we have our wing back in Mr. Lee, he is good defensively, channel along the line. I observed him and I see that he's not a bad player going up and down. But what if he's out of position and the ball is here with the opposition team? Can Mr. Latibodir and Mr. Hector recover fast enough to assist in blocking anything that may come across into the danger zone? I think not. Is Mr. Man here in Deshaun Bernard fast enough to come across with the support of Alembi Kisa, who may be up the field because we were hit on the counter? Is he fast enough to come back and cause like a positional markings on opposition team to prevent things from coming into the box here? I don't think so. So where the back three is concerned, it is always important to understand that once you're playing a back three, not to say you have to play a high line, even though that is a modern thing. The high line is always important to have if you can recover enough. But the main reason for having a back three is where intelligence comes in and recovery pace. Michael Hector isn't the quickest player that we have in Jamaica system, even though he has played well in a few games. Because sometimes Jamaica will be going up front, right? And opposition team hits us, like take the ball away from our striker in Mr. Lowe. These two were somewhat up, and the ball hit over the back here. Somebody here from the opposition team is going to take on Mr. Lowe. And that is where recovery pace and understanding is important. So when you're playing a back three, you have to consider having players who are quick. Am I wrong? I don't think so. Because if the back three is low and the midfield four gets defeated by the opposition team, the back three has to be good enough. And I don't think that Mr. Latibodier is an ideal player for being in a back three. I think he's better in a midfield or in a back four. All right. So I shared a little on the back three, whereas intelligence and recovery pace is important. Without pace, it is problematic for the Jamaican national team. Now, the midfield four. I love a compact midfield four because playing against teams like USA, Mexico, and the bigger guns, you have to have players in the midfield four. And to me, that is okay. But whereas intelligence again, and pace, and strength, and stamina is concerned, Damian Lowe is the main culprit who has such attributes. Right? Casey Palmer is more so known as a creator right here in the midfield area. Even though sometimes for Coventry City, he drops back deep here and make passes to the front line. But I think he needs some more time to work with a Damian Lowe, but maybe something different like a diamond. But I won't touch on that part. I'm explaining why this can be a problematic formation. Naturally, Mr. Lee and a Lembikisa aren't wingbacks. But the importance of having wingbacks is to let them have more opportunities being more offensive. Offensive, not defensive, offensive. So you're leaving the back three and like a Damian Lowe to drop in if anything. So what I'm saying here? So let's start about Mr. Lee. He scored a goal. Wonderful. And he has the left foot who can swing in the ball to our striker or to make the pass here. Or he can come through there and can make the pass here and he can create opportunities there. But whereas recovery is concerned, he may be high up the pitch. Two Mexican players can be here, bouncing the ball. He is lost, taking on a Latibodir, who may not be good enough in terms of pace to take on the two Mexicans. All right. So it's important, though, going forward to create opportunities, but is naturally known for being a left back. Damian Lowe, I don't have any issue with him being in the defensive midfield role because even though sometimes he can be somewhat reckless, he have the intelligence or the ability to play in this role because he's strong, he's defensive, he's powerful, and he's, to me, the best passer between the lines for Jamaica. Tua Lee, Lemby Kisa, Tua Palmer, Sheffers, Lowe, Bobby Reed. Good. So Mr. Lowe, I don't have any issue. Just have to have a good partnership with Casey Palmer. But Casey Palmer may not be the ideal player who I want for him to play beside. Maybe you can think about a Dujan Sterling who plays for Rangers. But another day, I will do a video on such with the tactical board here. No, Casey Palmer, no. I mentioned that he can play deep line at times, making technical passes because he's quick footed as well. So he may scan and he can make good passes wide, forward, short. That's brilliant. But remember, the reason why the midfield has four is to be compact, to prevent opposition teams from breaking the lines. Casey Palmer to me is better as a number 10 though, and he's not quick enough. So what he has to know is that technicality and thinking like a Busquets, a Xavi, and Iniesta, all of them is at DMs, but based on the fact that they're not fast, they're somewhat slow players, you have to use their quick-footed skills, intelligence to scan out your players, decide as to where you should pass the ball. Because naturally it's a number 10. And when you move a number 10 into like a 8 position or 2-6, it is somewhat hard for him to decide as to how well he can play. So you have to understand the importance of the player's intelligence. So, how about this guy, Lemby Kisa? Then again, Lemby Kisa is better defensively, like a Wan-Bissaka. Not saying he's a similar type of player, but he's better defensively. When you put Lemby Kisa here, he may assist more than Ali in terms of recovery pace because he's quicker than Lee to me. So he's more flexible, energetic to get back. Ball swings in from this side, and these three are here. He can flick it off for a corner, right? Flick it off for a throw. But the problem is that Lemby Kisa, to me, is not technical enough to, even though he scored a wonderful goal against Panama, though, he's not the ideal wing back for Jamaica to me. He's more so like a right back, as what many persons would know. Because when you're playing wing backs, it's not a case of always making crosses in the box, and he's right footed, so he's be very good to have here. The thing is, with him, this is the thing sometimes you have to understand with wing backs. Sometimes they come in to connect the dots in a triangular motion, right? In a triangular motion. So sometimes you go to this side, Casey Palmer, him, Bobby Reed, triangle. And if you understand football, you see that the triangle is one of the most important shapes in the game because it is known for using the tiki-taka type of football style of play. But where he is concerned as a problem is that technically, I don't think he possesses all of those attributes. But then again, he's young. He can do his thing. For the midfield, four, not bad, but not ideal. But where compactness is concerned, fine. But we just have to have the right players to play in this formation. For the wing backs, you need players who can defend and contribute offensively. All right, so this is now the front three. A lot of persons like front three, because you can score from the left, from the right, central. This guy, Shifaz, I have no issues based on the games that I watched. With him, he is just here to score goals and make assists. I don't think he needs to do much of a defensive work because you have Lee. Latibodier to me is not an ideal back three player. maybe in a back four. So I don't have any issue with this guy. Low, the position I'm speaking about though, not a big issue. Bobby Reed normally plays a right winger, not a big issue. So what's the big issue with with the formation? The main issue with the formation is this, the back three. Because as you realize, I don't have anything to say much on the front three because Jamaica normally plays with front three or front two, just there to score goals. The midfield four is just a case of having the rightful players, but where this is concerned in a 3-4-3 formation, this position is important. If you don't have the rightful players who can play, not really say a high line, but a balanced line because the formation provides balance, it will be problematic. So, my people, it is my first time speaking about Jamaica with a tactical board. What's your thought? Let me know what you think in the comment section because then again, I may suggest what's best in terms of formation for the national team. You take care and goodbye for now.